I got bad news for you. I am not going to be up here telling you all the easy ways you can make money in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, and buying the next Bitcoin or anything like that. I've got some suggestions. I do have 4 or 5 cryptocurrencies that I like. I don't think now is a very good time to be involved with cryptocurrencies with your money. It's a frenzy. Just talking a second ago about why I don't believe in getting up at 3 a.m. and trying to make $200 or $2,000 trading Forex. And it's because, guys, let's just get a reality check here. What is our goal? Why are you all at the money show? Are you here to make quick money in the next few days, the next few weeks? Or are you here to try to maximize your returns and minimize your risks of your portfolio, of your net worth, of your life over the next 10,000 days? It's not about the next 100 days. 10,000 days is 30 years. And you've still got 30 years. Don't be laughing. You'll be in 92.
I'm 45. That'll make 100 even.
All right, so there you go. But in all seriousness, that I tell my oldest subscribers at tradingwithcody.com, anybody in here who wants a tradingwithcody.com subscription for free, I will give you 2 free months instead of just 1 because you're here at the Money Show listening to me talk. So just go sign up at tradingwithcody.com, and anybody who signs up today or tomorrow will get 2 months for free. And then you can cancel at any time. There's no obligation. I'm not going to take money out of your pocket unless you guys think I'm creating value for you over 60 days. And the value I'm trying to create is not over those 60 days. Again, I want to create value over the next 10,000 days, 30 years. That's what you're doing when you're moving your money. Don't be greedy. Don't think you can make an income. I've never known anybody who's survived 5, 10, 12, 15 years trading quickly, doing Forex trades at 3 a.m., using software screening technology to tell you when to buy Bitcoin for the next 6 hours or whatever it is that you've heard around here. It sucks, guys. It's hard. There will be losses and pain. Do you remember 2000? The year 2000, I mean. We had a dot-com crash. We had a technology crash. What had happened in 99 and 2000 leading up to that crash? We had a frenzy and a bubble. Pets.com went from $1 to 100 and back to 0. Riot blockchain last week, or last month, I started telling my Trading with Cody subscribers, guys, let's try to buy some puts on this sucker. 3 months, this thing will be back to 5, and then in 2 or 3 years, it'll be back at 50 cents like it was before they did a 10-for-1 reverse merger. Do you guys know what a 10-for-1 reverse merger in a shell company that does Bitcoin blockchain naming is? If you don't, then don't ever buy a blockchain microcap penny stock, because that's what they do. It is a frenzy. It is a mania. When a company like Long Island Iced Tea changes their name to Long Island Blockchain and the stock goes up 500%, everybody who bought that stock, every single one of them will lose all of it unless they sell it now and lose only 50% of it. It's not a real company. That is what is going on in a frenzy, and that's why I'm here to try to talk some sense into you guys and just try to check your greed. It's hard and it sucks, and money is not easy. And yes, guys, don't leave, because I've got some ideas that you could make money on. Not this week. That is no joke. I mean, the fact is, guys, there's tens of billions of dollars that are moving into blockchain and Bitcoin technologies right now, and there's an infrastructure that's been built, and there are conferences, not like the Money Show that just has Bitcoin topics, but there are entire conferences and infrastructure being built to take blockchain companies' technologies out into the open to enable people. President Trump calling?
I'll be back.
Might be Obama. I don't take a call from either one. that's the fact, that there's money moving into this, and there will be real things, there will be tangible. This is somewhere either 99 or the year 2000. I don't know when the exact top will be, but it's a mania, and it won't end near term pretty. You'll have a year or two, and my best guess, the next year or two, maybe 3 years, 99% of the cryptocurrencies out there are going to zero. There's going to be a few Amazons, though. There's going to be a few Googles in the cryptocurrency world. Blockchain is real. How do you invest in blockchain in 2018? You don't. Wait for some great companies to either truly implement blockchain and create growth and prosperity for themselves, and you'll see this coming. You're going to hear Amazon talking about how to create an open blockchain cloud that everybody in the future can build their apps and technologies and streaming and 5G, IoT things on top of. But you got to go through the pain first. We got to get through a crash. You can't have frenzies out there. I have friends, ex-friends of mine on Wall Street who are paid big money by ICO cryptocurrency scam artists to perpetuate the scam and promote it to you guys. They're not disclosing all of the information to you. I mean, how many of these cryptocurrencies you don't even understand what the heck they're talking about? I was in Las Vegas a month ago with Neil Patrick Harris and Terrell Owens and Bobby Farrelly, who directed Dumb and Dumber. And Neil says to me, I bought Bitcoin last week, 16,000 bucks. That was the first day there. Next day, Terrell Owens asks me, Cody, what do you know about Bitcoin, man? I've been thinking about buying some. He didn't buy it yet, thank goodness. Next day, Bobby Farrelly comes to me and says, Cody, I've got a friend who's creating a fund for cryptocurrency investing. He's asking me to put some money into it. Can you talk to the guy and see what you think about it? I talked to the guy. I didn't understand what the heck he was talking about. I walk into an elevator 5 minutes later and there's a sign that says Alpha Token, cryptocurrency, room 17 in the R area, or 17th floor. I'm going to see what these guys are talking about. Let's go see why they're at CES with this crypto Alpha Token thing. And I get in there, and this might sound familiar to you guys. He has a new token that he's creating that is going to enable blank to monetize blank, and to be able to create a new blockchain way that's truly transparent for blank. And this in particular one was for content. So I didn't understand what he said, but he explained to me that as a content creator, I could use his tokens to make more money than using US dollars or something. None of that's making sense. That's pets.com in 1999. You guys remember Webvan? WBVN. Was a $1 billion company at one point. It went to zero because home delivery of groceries wasn't ready. You had to wait 10 years for Grubhub. And that's probably what's going to happen. Let's be realistic. You can't have all of these manias, and you can't have people around here taking thousands of dollars from everybody in this conference and putting it into their blockchain and their cryptocurrency and everything else. Catch your breath a little bit. Be scared. People are greedy right now. Isn't there an old saying? Right? The great Warren Buffett, who, by the way, you bailed out with your tax dollars in 2008 because he was greedy when others were greedy. He wasn't fearful in 2008. So take it with a grain of salt to anything Warren Buffett says too. Take a grain of salt to anything I'm saying, of course. But it's greed out there. This is a frenzy. I don't like the vibe. I don't like what I hear. I don't like when Neil Patrick Harris is telling me he bought Bitcoin at 16,000. Then at dinner 2 nights later, and I'm not just dropping names, but it's fun to drop names when you're talking in front of people. So 2 nights later, I'm at dinner with Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. And he starts talking to me, Cody, what do you know about cryptocurrencies? And I'm like, dude, I just published a book called The Blockchain Revolution and the Great Cryptocurrency Crash. Because we're crashing. This is a frenzy. I mean, back up. Guess what? I'm not joking. The Mater D stops over at our table because he heard us talking about Bitcoins, cryptocurrencies, and he wanted to tell us all the money he had made in the last month day trading Ethereum and Ripple. And that's a top. That's not healthy. That's not the time you should be risking your money in that stuff. So that's my first step, my first lesson. The only thing I really want to drive home today is be scared. Be skeptical, be cynical. There are scams galore. You see the ads on Facebook. Oh, they got banned on Facebook because they were scams. You see the ads on Market Watch that are fed by Google. You see it on Yahoo. Wherever you go, you're seeing ads telling you the next Bitcoin. This guy's got the secret. Pay him $20,000 for a lifetime subscription, and you too can find out all of the secrets. How many of those are actually scams? I don't know, but a lot. It's a free-for-all. You guys heard of Regulation CF? Reg crowdfunding. You've got companies here that I was surprised to see that are not even publicly traded, that are raising $1 million from retail investors at this place, probably legally. Legally, not illegally, because government regulations have changed to enable retail investors to invest in startups more easily. Maybe that's a good thing. I mean, I'm a bit libertarian-minded. I'm not a libertarian because I don't want to groupthink like a libertarian either. I want to be free-thinking in all cases. But, yeah, maybe people should be on their own. Look, you're all adults.
Don said, Cody high.
Oh, tell Donald I said, well, actually, don't tell him. I said, all right, I don't talk to the Donald anymore, or the Obama. True story. Donald Trump Jr. was on my show in 2008. I did a block party on Wall Street, 2 hours. We closed down Wall Street, Fox Business. Had every major famous Wall Streeter on there. Had Mari Rubelli telling me banks were going to go up forever. It was right before the banks got bailed out. I had Donald Trump Jr. come on the show, and we started talking about oil for some reason. And oil at the time was at $125. And I was as bearish as I could be on oil. Thought it was going to crash. Seen this playbook before. Lived in eastern New Mexico / right next to West Texas for many, many years. Growing up, I've seen these cycles. I saw 2 or 3 bubbles and pops in the energy sector. So I bet on air with Donald Trump Jr. I said, man, oil's going to $30. It'll have a 3 handle before it gets to, say, a 15 handle, 150. He goes, that's insane. It's going straight to 150. I said, I will bet you my inheritance against your inheritance that oil sees 30s before it sees 150s. On air, we shook hands. I got a picture of it on tradingwithcody.com. You can see me shaking his hand, making that bet. It wasn't, what, 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks later, oil's at $38. And so, by the way, I invited Donald Trump Jr. to come back on my show every month for the next year and a half, and he never came back. So I don't talk to Donald anymore, Donald Trump Jr. I'm waiting for my inheritance. Kicker, side note, I got a feeling before I die, I would rather have my father's assets and my assets than Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr.'s debts. Let's think about it. Different perspective. I don't know why I was talking about that, except it's sort of the same topic. In 2008, man, everybody was sure energy was a no-brainer. It's easy. Peak oil. Peak oil, peak oil, peak oil, peak oil. Just buy oil. Energy's going up forever. Sound a little bit like Bitcoin. Blockchain's the future. Blockchain's the future. Blockchain's the future. And it is. Blockchain is going to create a transparent way of keeping records and interneting and surfing and apping and artificial intelligencing, and it's great. It's huge. Yes. There's no way to invest in blockchain right now that's ethical, that's actually meaningful, unless you've got an insight on a guy who truly is creating a revolutionary cryptocurrency blockchain-oriented company that you know personally. But you're not going to meet him here. You're not going to meet a stranger who wants your money if it's truly the opportunity. Why do they want your money if he's a stranger and it's such a great opportunity? There is, did I mention, tens of billions of dollars flowing into blockchain technology this very minute from institutionals. I've been approached in the last 6 months by probably several dozen blockchain cryptocurrency related companies. 6 years ago, I was approached dozens of times by marijuana related microcap pink sheets, over the counter scams, stocks. And they want to pay me. They'll write me a $500,000 check and give me millions of dollars of their crappy, worthless stock that I can then go promote and hype and sell to the retail investors like you, along with those guys who have those shares at those companies, who are going to issue themselves lots more shares after you buy their shares, because it's not even a real company. It happens. It's a real game. It's a real scam. I went up to the FINRA booth and asked them, why is this legal? Why? Like, for the last 7 years, you can go Google Cody Willard penny stocks. Go Cody Willard marijuana penny stocks, and you will find I have called out dozens of these companies by name in articles on MarketWatch and Wall Street Journal, saying that they're going to zero. They're probably scams. Heck, I've called some of them outright scams. You know how many times I've been contacted because those companies wanted to sue me for calling them that, for explaining what their scam was? Zero. I don't understand what the SEC and FINRA are doing. FINRA is supposed to regulate the brokerages, fine. The SEC, how can they allow Long Island Iced Tea to change their name to Long Island Blockchain and promote the heck out of their stock? How can they allow these people to pay promoters, newsletter writers, money to promote stocks that are worthless, that they're not even trying to create a real company with? And how can I, from Ruidoso, New Mexico, recognize these scams, write about them, call them out, and the SEC is not doing anything? And guess what? Blockchain went from 40 to 13. Riot blockchain, R-I-O-T. And it's going to 5, it's going to 0 eventually. I'd love for them to call me. Let's have a debate. I think was it Andrew Left, Citron, called out the same stock by only 2 days after I met. And he was going on CNBC and invited the CEO of Riot Blockchain to go on there with him. Didn't show up, but he did sell a few $1 million of Riot Blockchain stock, I'll bet. Go check it. I haven't checked it, don't need to. Love for them to reach out to me if I'm wrong. All right, is that enough scare and fear and everything else? I'm talking about at least trying to make some money when all this stuff settles down, after the bubble pops, after the people are crying, maybe in a year or two when we come to the money show and there's not a single cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin related booth. Might be the best time ever to buy this stuff. And I think that's happening. I'm not in any rush. I'm not going to be greedy. I've seen Bitcoin go from when I bought it and took it as payment at Trading with Cody, $100 each, to started selling it when it was at $2,000 because I started getting scared, and still selling it all the way up to $20,000 and still selling it all the way down right now. There's going to be great opportunities to invest probably in Bitcoin. So let's talk about 4 or 5 ones that I think have potential, but let's be realistic that I'm not putting any money in them anytime soon. I own most of anything I'm going to talk about. I've owned them for a while, and I would suggest being just cool and scared right now. One other note before I get into that. I started offering a lifetime subscription 2 weeks ago on tradingwithcody.com. $6,000, and you can have a lifetime subscription. It's $100 a month, $1,000 a year, $6,000. And I had a good chunk of my subscribers take me up on this new lifetime subscription. Most of my subscribers have been with me 15, 20 years. You know what I did with that money? I actually was just out there talking to another presenter And we got on this topic, and he was like, "Phew, I know you didn't put it in a savings account." Actually, yes, that's what I did with it. I think putting money in a savings account right now might be a great idea. Be fearful when others are greedy, and there's a lot of greed right now. So, I get one other anecdotal thing. Yesterday I gave a speech called Fraud and Scams, Bubbles, Frauds, and Scams, Your Economic and Stock Market Themes for 2018. You know how many people came to it? Not very many. Today I talk about the great blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin topic, and packed. So, here's 5 of them that I think might live. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum, and Stellar. I plan on somewhere in the next year or two buying more of almost all of those. Probably 1 or 2 I'm going to be wrong about. Probably 5 or 6 other incredible platform, blockchain, cryptocurrency related things that will be out there that I can buy. I hope I recognize them. I'm going to be studying this because I do believe in blockchain and cryptocurrencies, just like I believed in the internet. And even though in the year 2001, the internet stocks went to 0, Amazon went from 100 to 2, there was a time to buy Amazon at the bottom. I bought Apple at $1 per share in March 2003. Still own it. I bought Google the day it came public. 2005, 2004. Still own it. $45 a share. Original cost basis. There's opportunities like that, but I just don't think this is the very moment. This is buying Amazon in spring 1999 at 80 before it went to 100, on its way to 2 before it went to 1,500, by the way, 20 years later. That's the vision. By the way, are we talking about thousands of days again? Not tens of days. How do you make big money in cryptocurrencies this year? You're not. Nobody's going to make big money in cryptocurrencies this year except for the insiders creating the companies and some of the guys who are really creating real companies. I did actually agree just yesterday to get involved with a cryptocurrency token that will be rolling out in the next year or so. Do you see me in here hyping it and trying to get retail investors money? No. These guys are the real deal. They're building this thing from the ground up legally, ethically. I believe they could crowd out a lot of these scams. I think there's a great opportunity to be involved with this stuff. We're going to institutional investors first. Big money. I don't think people right now should be trying to take retail investors' money and putting it into some random cryptocurrency that you've been told is a hot one. Always, always, always check to see if the person who's promoting the currency, the equity, the option, the trade, the concept, the security, how are they compensated? Who's paying them? Do they own it? Are they selling it to you when they're telling you to buy it? And right now, I would bet almost every single one of those ICOs that have come out in the last month that retail investors can put their money in are scams. Don't touch them. Run. "25 minutes in, I wanted to leave 15, 20 minutes for questions. I don't mean to sound like a big old pessimist, because I will tell you, I believe in our world. I believe in technology. I think we're living in a virtuous time, and we are creating prosperity and wealth in this world unlike any other time in the history of mankind. And I do want to keep my buckets out there trying to get some of the monies that are flowing into those areas, from artificial intelligence to cryptocurrencies to blockchain, driverless cars, that are related to all of these sectors. I spend time, energy, and money. Neil Patrick Harris and I in CES in Vegas a month ago took a driverless Lyft ride from Lyft to a show that we wanted to go watch. Michael Jackson won. It was terrible. But it was cool taking a driverless car ride and knowing that this revolution's happening, trying to figure out the best ways to invest in that. Be patient, know that it's not going to be big money or it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of people whose mission in life is to take the money out of your pocket and put it in theirs and not actually create value doing that. Any questions?
How do you feel about companies like UPS and Maersk utilizing the blockchain to improve their logistics?
Yes, I mean that is the revolution. There will be improvements in logistics. There's going to be improvements in privacy and ways for you to monetize people who are tapping into your privacy so that Facebook and Google aren't capturing all of the value of your data, but that you get compensated through some sort of token on the blockchain that Coca-Cola has to pay for, or UPS is able to track packages in any place at any time because they're involved in the blockchain and it's transparent and all of that stuff. Great, it's real. There's no way to make money in it yet. There's going to be a Cisco of blockchain. There's going to be an Amazon of Bitcoin. But we're not there yet. I just think it's early. I think we've got to be cool. We've got to be patient. We've got to be really cynical. Because when you see a frenzy like this, it sucks when it unwinds. And that's what I just keep using that word. It sucks because it sucks your value, sucks your portfolio out of wealth, puts it in someone else's pocket who's not doing virtuous things with it. Where the heck is the SEC? Yes, sir.
Is there any real world value in any cryptocurrency? I mean, 20 years from now, will we use it for something other than just a savings account or a storage of value?
I hope so, and I believe so. Yes, I do believe. If anybody followed me in 2008 knows my stance on Republican, Democrat policies and bailouts and the entire. Again, where's the SEC? If the government was really on your side, the SEC would be doing something about these scams. They're not. And I truly believe that an ethical, transparent currency is needed. And maybe more than one, let's say 3 or 5 hit critical mass, so you can have some options of your different types of currencies that you think store value better or have lower transaction fees or whatever the case may be. That is real. The banks steal trillions of dollars a year out of the system with their stupid commissions and fees and everything else. And the government's printing trillions of dollars while interest rates are at 0. So that's free. We can keep doing that. Let's throw another $500 billion on the budget next year. Let's put $1.5 trillion in tax cuts. Let's bail out banks for $8 trillion under Bush and Obama. I'm not okay with that stuff, and I don't think anybody is in this country. And then you go, hold on, then you go to Venezuela or Iraq. I live in a small town in New Mexico. One of the biggest CPA guy who does all the books for all the professionals in town kept having these guys invest in Iraqi dinars 5 or 6 years ago. And actually go create an LLC. One of my friends who's an attorney. And hey, let's buy $15,000 of Iraqi dinars and put it in an LLC so when it goes up 10 or 100-fold in the next 18 months. And I wrote an article at the time at MarketWatch. I was like, why don't these people just do Bitcoins? Because if you go to Venezuela or Iraq with dollars, people will trade you the Iraqi dinar or the Venezuela krona or whatever the thing is, for anything. They would take $1 for, here, take all my krone, take all my Iraqi dinars, just give me some of those dollars, man. That's not going to change. And those people in Iraq and in Venezuela, they really know what the downside of government fiat currency is. And that sucks. Again, it sucks value and prosperity out of the world. And I do believe that over time, value and prosperity and ethics carry the day. And there will be trillions of dollars of more wealth in the world because banks aren't sucking it out. Governments aren't sucking it out. And so, yeah, man, there's a real place for cryptocurrencies. And I plan on owning some of those that become the true de facto standard of currency. Yes, sir?
Would you say investing in industries or companies that are going to benefit directly from a blockchain application would be the move because their revenues will increase because of a lower cost of operation, or the blockchain itself?
Both. I mean, it depends on how you would invest in the blockchain. I mean, again, there's going to be guys who are convincing you to put money in something that doesn't even exist or doesn't actually related to blockchain and things. And then as far as the companies, and that's my point here, is that there's nobody making a sustainable revenue model that you can invest in right now. There are private companies that have access to real money in Silicon Valley and on Wall Street and tens of billions of dollars that are going to fund those companies. But you're not going to be able to buy it right now. In another 2 or 3 years, hopefully those companies are coming public. Maybe in a year, some of them are coming public and they're doing $50 million in revenue and then projected to grow tenfold in the next 3 years because everyone's moving to their blockchain platform or something. More likely, frankly, Amazon's going to squeeze out everybody and be the blockchain de facto standard, or Google. So you've got to be aware that there's going to be competition in it anyway, and that even if you invest in blockchain-related companies that look great, they might get squeezed by existing $500 billion, trillion companies like Amazon and Apple. But my bigger point is I just don't think right now it's possible for you and I to do that. Yes?
Excuse me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How do you put your Bitcoin in an LLC? You just mentioned it.
I said I had a guy who was telling people to create an LLC for their dinars. And I frankly have no idea. I don't care. All I was telling those people was, don't buy Iraqi dinars, much less spend money creating an entity to put your Iraqi dinars in. It doesn't make any sense to me. So no, I have no idea. And please don't do that.
I assume I'm the only one in the room that doesn't know this, so let me ask you.
I hope I know the answer to that.
How does it work?
The blockchain.
What is the blockchain? The entity, how does it work?
Look, I'm not here to try to explain to you guys the technicalities of it. I'm reading books on it just like you are. I've written a book that explains that I do believe in blockchain technology. The simplest way to truly picture it is that there's information that everybody can access, but you have to have a key to get to it. And by enabling it for you to get the key, you can monetize things, you can control things, you can create tokens out of it. But it's that instead of it truly just being blinded in a cloud, there's transparency to everybody that wants to check what's happening in the system. That's the simplest way to explain it. I do suggest reading lots of books on it. I'm still wrapping my head around it. Sometimes I feel like I have more than one head, but that's not a good thing. And sometimes I feel like I lose my head. My wife always tells me, I'm losing if it wasn't connected. But yes, truly, it's transparency is the best way to explain blockchain. No problem. And nobody here knows what it is. The guys who are driving the blockchain revolution that truly understand and how it's going to work and creating this stuff, they're doing that. They're not here at the money show trying to get your money. Yes?
You have mentioned that you had like 5 cryptocurrencies. What characteristics in those currencies led you to like them?
Great question. Number one, I would say I'm looking for something that can hit critical mass. And I think Bitcoin has had so much infrastructure and investment around Bitcoin that it has a very good chance of surviving and becoming some sort of a de facto alternative currency.
Okay.
Some of them, it's like I'm working with, like the company that's approached me that I do think is the real deal, they're building themselves on Stellar.
Okay.
And so I went, I better go work more on Stellar, and I went and looked it up, and I'm still getting my head around Stellar. So, but I know that guys I trust are building a platform on Stellar, so I'm at least looking at it. I know there's something sustainable if these guys are real.
Yeah.
But my point again, it's like, it's early, man. Nobody knows exactly what technologies are real and what's going to be built on. But you do want to find, like, you will recognize over time, over the next year or two, you're going to see maybe Ethereum or maybe Stellar or maybe both have all kinds of things built on top of it. And then you're going to have companies like, you remember, here's a good example. You remember Red Hat, when they were trying to monetize Linux, an open source operating system. And how can you then try to monetize it? Well, they did actually. They figured it out. And they built a business model around helping people run Linux and stuff. And so that's like, Linux was critical mass. Companies building themselves around that. And so we'll find a Red Hat of Ethereum or Stellar at some point. Yes?
Can crypto at some point replace cash?
Yes, and I don't know that it'll truly replace, but it will be an alternative too. I truly do believe that I'm not going to depend on this corrupt government's currency any longer someday.
That's maybe a good point from crypto.
But again, I'll tell you this, again, there's no way to know which one's truly going to get there right now, and in 20 or 30 years, it'll just be normal. It'll be like the internet. Everybody's got it. Yes?
How can you get people to buy bitcoins or things like that to pay for things when the people who build things can't depend on the value of the bitcoin from 19,000 to 7,000 in one day?
I will tell you this though, that he's asking, how can you create something that you can actually trade price and then purchase and sell things with in a Bitcoin currency when it's so volatile? If I may rephrase your question. So I heard that same argument when I was buying Bitcoin at 100. And again, I don't think Bitcoin's a great buy right now, but there are guys who have built platforms around Bitcoin, and it is up from 100 to 8,000, and whether it's down from 20 or not, there's value. There is a $100 billion plus market cap that's in there, that's moving around, and people do purchase. I accepted purchases at tradewithcody.com for $99 a month. I would take one Bitcoin. You could literally pay one Bitcoin, get 1 month of trading with Cody. So there was a transaction there. That's where I got a bunch of my Bitcoins, some of which were stored at Mt. Gox. So I got some great gains, but I also have 100% losses on about half my Bitcoins from 2013. Did I mention that? Huh.
Forgot that.
I actually mention it throughout my book. It's very important to recognize that, again, I got scammed. Thousands of dollars at the time. Gone. I didn't really pay attention. Now all of a sudden Bitcoin hit 2,000, I started going, sort of like 50 Cent. I was like, holy crap, I better go find out how many Bitcoins I've got. And I couldn't find all of them. I was like, I know I've got more than this. And I kept going and looking, and finally went to my Gmail, and I was like, Bitcoin purchase, Bitcoin passcode. And I found that I had put some of those Bitcoins at Mt. Gox in 2014 or something, 6 months before Mt. Gox got completely hacked. You probably guys don't even know what Mt. Gox is. It was a wallet where I could keep my Bitcoins, and before that it had been a card, literally a trading card. Like you could trade Pokemon cards and stuff at this website. Now you could trade Bitcoins, and it wasn't secure. And someone came in and stole all of our Bitcoins, not just mine, hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, not that much, hundreds of millions of dollars, probably $500 million stolen out of Mt. Gox, of which a very small portion was mine. Yes?
For the .com bubble that you talked about, if you had done a fundamental analysis
Cute baby. Baby alert. Baby alert.
If you've done fundamental analysis on a lot of those companies, you would have saw that they were way overheated with their, speculation and everything. Is there a way to do fundamental analysis on Bitcoin companies or cryptocurrency companies? Are they public yet?
They're not. That's what my point is that there's no way, there's not any major Bitcoin pure play or anything you can even analyze, much less reasonably purchase at a decent price at this very moment. Your bigger question, though, I will just tell you, there were millions of people in the year 2000 who were like, well, maybe it'll come down a little bit, but eventually the internet's going to be real. Pets.com, everyone is going to buy their pet store stuff at pets.com someday. So it's not like you can even just fundamentally be able to tell that those things aren't going to work out either. We're wrong. You can mess up the fundamental analysis too. That's my point. Amazon is where I buy my pet supplies now. How about you? You guys remember the pet.com sock? The little puppet? Yeah. That actually did sell for like that puppet got sold for like $10 million when pets.com was already at zero. Yes?
Do you feel like the Ripple blockchain has a fighting chance against the current Swift's model?
Yes, I do. Again, that's why I mentioned Ripple. I think Ripple's got a potential to become some sort of a de facto standard of some sort of a platform for blockchain stuff and smart contracts and all the stuff that you hear people explaining how you can buy that stuff right now and why I'm here telling you don't.
But I mean specifically against the Swift model,
No, I don't know what the Swift model is.
the interbank transactions.
Yes, absolutely. That is my point. Not just Ethereum, all of these things. Someone's going to kill Swift. Someone's going to kill bank fees, the transaction costs, the hundreds of billions of dollars a year that banks suck out of this system. I should have called this the Great Suck. Yes.
Did you ever see a Bitcoin vending machine?
I went over, I've seen them around for years, several years even. You remember when they started coming out 2 or 3 years ago? And my coins are at Mt. Gox, so what the heck, don't listen to me. But I did go over right now and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go buy $20 of Bitcoin back. I've been selling thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoins. I'm buy $20 back just so I can do it on this thing. So I did go over there just a few minutes ago. I was talking with these two lovely people over here and they made them walk over there with me. I didn't do it. I went over, I put my $20 in, and then wouldn't take it. And then it's a tap here to get started, and a tap, and I'm like, put in your phone number. I'm not giving them my phone number. I was out of there. So no, I've never actually bought a Bitcoin on an ATM type of device, but I did just try to. And I also fly all the time and do not do TSA pre-check because I will not let the Republican-Democrat regime have my fingerprints. And then I realized, I think they've got my fingerprints from when I was in 8th grade. We went through a police station, tour, a field trip, and we all got to do the fingerprints. And I think back, what was I doing? Fingerprints are on the record somewhere now. You think 23andMe someday is going to share all of your DNA information with the Republican-Democrat regime? Does Google share all of your information with the Republican-Democrat regime? What company's founder's wife started 23andMe? Google. I'm not sending anything to 23andMe. Here's where the blockchain can work. That's a great example. Just had this right here, new idea. You need a 23andMe that uses blockchain technology so your code, your information, your security, your privacy is truly protected. Anyway, 23andMe, they're not getting my information, and neither is that Bitcoin machine over there. I have no more time. I'll give you one last question and one last bit of advice. 2 words. You want to make big money tomorrow? 2 words. Bitcoin.